Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to finally be reviewing the Daisy Marquez by BH Cosmetics palette. And I've been waiting on this palette for some time now. I ordered it on the 28th and I just got it yesterday on the 8th, March 8th. And so, or did I order on the 28th? No, I think I ordered on the 28th and I got it yesterday on March 8th. But that's okay because I've been really excited to get it and I finally got it. So now all I did was open the packaging and like look at it, but I didn't actually get to swatching it or doing any makeup looks with it so far. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm going to be doing one eyeshadow look and then I'm going to be swatching all of the eyeshadows, seeing how the pigment is and everything. So yeah. So the first thing that I noticed was that it comes in this bag. And this bag is like, it has the bubble wrap, so I think in place of just bubble wrap, actually I don't think it came with bubble wrap also. But in place of just regular bubble wrap, it comes with this bag that has bubble wrap in it, which is pretty cool because I've never seen something like this before in terms of shipping. And it's actually really cute too because it's like a pretty durable plastic bag, so it's like a reusable makeup bag. And what I think this will come in handy for is like when you're going on vacation or you know, packing makeup in your luggage. This will be really good to put your makeup in because it has the bubble wrap. But anyway, I thought that was really cute. But now we're gonna get to the palette, and this is how the box looks. Of course, it's the signature Tiffany blue. That's her favorite color. And so I'll just go ahead and open it and take out the actual palette. And at this point, I'm sure you guys know what makes this palette unique, but if not, it's that, anyway, I'll show you once I get to it. But it comes with this little like, I don't even know what you would call it, but it comes with this. And here's the actual palette. It comes with the cute little silver bow design on the front. And then of course this is also Tiffany blue. Now if you guys don't know what makes this palette unique, it is the first of its kind. And the kind that it is that the top to open the palette, it's actually magnetic. So the top just comes right off. And you can actually place the lid here or the top here and it turns into a vanity. So that is just like, I don't know how they came up with that idea, but that was just like a super good idea because if you just take this palette with you, like when you're traveling or whatever, you don't even have to bring another mirror, one, because it already comes with a mirror inside, and you can use it as a handheld mirror like this, or you can place it in here and use it as like a small vanity. And also another thing that I've seen a lot of influencers doing is they've been taking one of those phone ring lights that you can attach to your phone, and they've been attaching it right on top of the mirror, so it turns it into literally a lit up vanity. And I just thought that was the coolest idea. You know, like that was so innovative and really, really convenient for people who, you know, travel a lot and do their makeup or whatever. And not just that, but even if you did want to take just this palette with you wherever you're going, it has such a good color scheme because it has, like she said in her video, it has the pops of color and it also has a lot of neutrals that you can play with. And you can make so many looks from this palette because it has such a wide color range. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get to swatching them now because I haven't swatched them yet, but I'm really excited to do it. So the first one we're going to do is, I don't know if I should do all of them. I guess I should. Why not? So the first one I'll do is Naked. Ooh, it already feels really buttery in the pan just from, you know, swiping it. And there it is. This one looks a little light for me, so I think if I do use this one, I'll probably end up using it as like a lid shade maybe, or to highlight my brow bone, or set, you know, if I were doing just lashes and didn't want anything on my lids, I would probably use it to set my lids. And anyway, we'll go ahead and swatch it. Yeah, they're really buttery. That's what I pick up right off the bat, is that they're very buttery. The pans are a bit small, but for the quality that they are, I think it's still a good price because I got this when it was just $18, I think it was. And even now that the first couple day promotion is over, it's still only like $23, which is not a bad deal at all. So now we're gonna do Dulce. And again, this one's super buttery. And that's what I am already liking about these mattes, is that they're so buttery, and some mattes tend to be very dry because they are a matte formula. So I'm gonna swatch this right next to there. That one's really pretty. That one looks like it'd be a really nice transition shade. I really like that one so far. So there's Dulce Naked. And the next one we're gonna do is Bittersweet. That one's very rich and very pigmented. That's a really pretty color. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that next to Dulce, or actually, yeah, Dulce. That one is pigmented. That one's very pigmented. That's such a pretty, like, rich cranberry color. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, since you guys already get pretty much the gist of how creamy and pigmented the first 3 shadows are, the matte ones, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the rest of the matte shadows, and then if anything different comes up about any of the formulas of the different colors, then I'll definitely stop the video and discuss it. But as of right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the swatches. Sorry, I'm really not the best at swatching, but I hope you guys can really see how pigmented these colors are. So there's all the matte shades swatched. They're all really pigmented and so pretty, and that color Karma is so pretty. I think I'm going to use that one today. I have a few looks in mind, and I think the one that I did involving the red is the one I'm going to do today. So now I'm just going to take off all this on my arm, and we're going to go ahead and do the shimmers next. They come off very easily. So far no staining, but of course I think she did mention with the red there could be some staining, of course, with long wear, and that's common with red eyeshadows. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and swatch the first shimmer, and I'm gonna do Slime first. So, okay, just from feeling in the pan, it is so buttery. It feels like the matte's already buttery as is, and of course, being the shimmer, they're just more. They're more prone to being, you know, more buttery. It's easier to make the shimmery shadows really buttery, but these are super buttery, and look at that, so pigmented. That's such a pretty, like, lemon lime green. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it. Wow, it's so pretty, and they're so smooth. They just spread so easily because they're so buttery. And you know, I do have the Take Me to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics, and I had the very, very old, like when they first, I think, launched, the 120 color palette. And these shadows, I feel like, are on a whole nother level. They don't even compare to those shadows. Like, for me, I didn't have, I thought that Take Me to Brazil palette, like, I used it in one of my more recent looks on Instagram, and it packs very well on the lid, but in terms of blending colors together, I didn't find that it performed the best. Like, for me, the colors really dissipated, so I'm really excited to see how these colors blend in with each other, considering how different the formula is from their past ones. Okay, and the next one is Lucid. Again, super buttery. That one's so pretty. It's like a lavender color. I'm gonna swatch it right next to here. Wow, that one's so pretty. I feel like that would be a really pretty pop of color in the inner corner, or even all over the lid. Okay, so again, like I did with the mattes, I'm just gonna go ahead and go through all of the colors and swatch them, and if I see any difference in formula, I'll definitely let you guys know. It literally feels like butter. It's so crazy to me because they're just so easy to spread out. It's crazy. Like, they're so pigmented. Okay guys, so these are all the shimmer colors, and I noticed there are quite a few pastels in here, which is really pretty. But also you have like these nice neutral tones that you can use in you know, more obviously neutral looks. But I just love the array of colors in here. And like she showed in her video, if you guys go check her video out, she like shows how she arranged the shadows in ways that you can, you know, get different ideas of what colors can go together and whatnot. But yeah, so far the formula seems really buttery, really pigmented and smooth, so I'm really excited to see how it works on the eyes, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with that now. Okay guys, so this is the eye look that I drew up to do with this palette specifically, and so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I just wanted to show you guys what I'm kind of going for. But anyway, we'll go ahead. Oh, I gotta prime my lids first. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually use this little vanity type thing because I'm using my actual vanity mirror. So for part of my, you know, kind of makeshift camera setup. So we're gonna go ahead and use that one today. So I'm just taking Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and blending that out all over my eyelids. And of course, I learned this technique from Miss Daisy Marquez because I honestly used to set my eyeshadow or the concealer before I did my eyeshadow, and it honestly makes such a difference when you don't set it because the shadows can actually grab onto the tackiness of the concealer, and I don't know what I was doing before, but I'm telling you, that little revelation I had or whatever, that really made a difference in the quality of my eyeshadow. Anyway, so I want to start out with the deepest color in the crease, so I think I'm going to go in with, I think I actually want to go in with Cocoa. Yeah, I'm going to go in with Cocoa first. Okay, good. So, I'll take my little brush cleaner I got from Walgreens. I'm a religious Walgreens shopper. I'm gonna take my little brush cleaner I got and kind of try and get the eyeshadow off. Okay. Now we're gonna go in with the color Cocoa, and we're going to apply it to the crease in sort of a very rounded shape. Okay, so far it looks very pigmented. And we're also going to be watching out for any fallout or kickback in the pan, stuff like that. This is a super deep, near like black brown. So far it's packing on pretty well. There's like slight fallout on my eyelid, but nothing very major. So far so good, no issues. So now I'm going to take, there is like very slight kickback in the pan. If you guys can see, you see there's just a little bit, but that's really common with almost any eyeshadow you're gonna have, so I'm not really worried about that. I don't really care about the fallout. I used to, but honestly I don't really care about the fallout or the kickback anymore, because as long as it's pigmented and it blends well, you can just clean that up, so that doesn't even matter. Either way, I always do my foundation after. At this point that doesn't really matter to me. But so now we're gonna go in with Vintage. And with Vintage we're just gonna pack that right on top of Cocoa. Kinda halfway on Cocoa and halfway off, because we're gonna use that to start blending it up. And I honestly, because the look that I drew out that I wanted to do with this palette, I honestly am not sure if it's the same little blend color thing they got going on in her campaign shot with the halo eye that Mitchell did. But yeah, we'll see how it comes out. So for now, I'm just packing it. I'm not blending it, I'm just packing the color on. Because as you can see, it's sort of blending itself. But for right now, we're just gonna pack and then we're gonna blend later. This is also a new technique that I picked up from like Mama Mitchell, and also P. Louis Academy, because over there in not America, I honestly am not familiar with where they're from. I think they're from the UK. No, I don't want to say the UK, but I know they're from Europe, I want to say. I'm honestly not sure, but they have a very different, let me look it up. Okay, yeah, they're in the UK. So people in the UK, or, you know, beauty gurus, I've noticed that they have had their own technique, and a lot of, it's kind of filtered its way into, you know, American beauty techniques. And honestly, because I never used to do this, I always started with the, you know, the typical, you start with your blending shade, your crease shade, and then you slowly get darker. But you do notice that this way, if you start that way, the deeper shades aren't as pigmented as they could be. So if you start with the deeper shades and then you blend up, then you can get the deeper shades more pigmented than they would have been if you would have done the other way. Okay, so now I'm gonna take flour. Now I'm gonna take flour, and I'm gonna use that to further pack it right above Vintage. And this one, I don't know if it's just how I'm applying it, but this one's kind of there we go. It's kind of getting in there. There we go. You just gotta pack a few layers on for it to, you know, really get its pigment to show through. Now I'm gonna go back in with Vintage, and I'm gonna slowly start to blend it into the yellow and then darken it up again. I think I'm gonna go in with the yellow just once more to give it one final like punch of color. But I think they're blending really nicely. So I'm gonna go in with kind of this fatter blending brush to give it like a wash, another wash of yellow right around the edges. Because I also find that this brush is one of my favorite for blending. So this should kind of help to give it a final blend also while applying more yellow. Okay. And that's all blending is. Even it's not just with this palette, with any palette, I always have to go back and forth to get my blend just how I want it. So I find that this palette is blending quite nicely, just like most palettes that most of my favorite palettes that I use. Now we're gonna go back in with the deepest shade, and we're gonna blend it up into Vintage once more. And also, this is gonna re-deepen that Vintage shade. And look how I love, or sorry, not Vintage, we're repacking Cocoa on. And look, I love how by repacking Cocoa, it's just putting its all in there. Like, sometimes I've noticed when I go back in to repack on the deepest shade, it's not as deep as it originally was because you've added those layers of other colors. But this one is packing on very, very nicely back into the deep crease. So it's like packing on as dark as it is in the pan, which is really nice about. Ooh, I'm blending a little too far up. Okay. So we're gonna be gentle to blend it up into Vintage. Try not to blend it too far up as to overpower Vintage. Look how, okay, hold up, because honestly, for me, Cocoa was, okay, the Vintage and Flower were pretty easy to blend, but Cocoa blends seamlessly into Vintage. Like, that was so easy to blend. That took me, what? I'm literally gonna time that. That took me like 10 seconds to blend after reapplying more. That was crazy. Okay, so now we're just gonna make sure our blend is nice and seamless. That is a blend. This is a blend. Wow. Okay, I'm going in with a little more vintage because I don't want it to get lost in between cocoa and flower, with cocoa being so dark. But oh my god, this blend right now is everything. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in once more with a little yellow or a little flower, just to give it a nice finishing touch. I'm going to go do my other eye and I'll be right back. Blended. I can't. I am shook. I am amazed. I am impressed. I don't have the words because that shade, for being as dark as it is, it blended so effortlessly. It blended so effortlessly into the other shade, and I'm just, because like I said before, honestly, I had a little bit of trouble blending the yellow and vintage, but this one, not trouble, but it did require a little bit more, you know, longer blending. But this one just blended like a dream. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease, and of course I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Yeah, I'm going to do a full cut crease all over my lid. So now I'm gonna take a flat shader brush, if I can find one. Flat shader brush. Take off the extra eyeshadow I had from last time. And I'm actually gonna take Karma and I'm gonna pack that all over my lid. It is packing on the lid very well. And I don't know, I mean, of course, sorry, you guys probably can't even see. And of course, like this down here is followed, but also I'm grabbing like hella eyeshadow and patting it on. So I don't want to really say it's the fault of the eyeshadow because I'm grabbing like a whole bunch. So take it as you want, but the color is there. This stuff is pigmented, so that's all that matters. I'm glad that so far I'm not seeing any like weird patches where it's sticking to the concealer more than other places, so that's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to my other eye first, and then I'll be right back with the next step. This is what I'm going to try and do. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're hoping for the best. So I guess we'll just, because I want my eyeliner is going to be like that. That's going to be the wing. And I already fucked it up. Oh my god, I don't know how to do this. Mind you, I'm literally just using makeup remover on a brush. I'm using that to wipe off what I don't want. I'm gonna go in with some more concealer, and now I'm gonna clean up that edge. I mean, I could always set it with Naked, but then I think that'll make it too dark. So I think I'm just going to leave it as it is, let it air dry. Maybe I'll set it with some translucent powder. I don't really know. We're just kind of winging it here. Ooh. Yeah, I'll set it with a little bit of translucent powder, just so it doesn't transfer. I'm just using RCMA translucent powder to set that. Now I'm taking my NYX Matte Liquid Liner, and that's actually turned out bigger than I wanted it to be, but that's okay, that's okay. And now I'm gonna do an eyeliner. As you guys can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the liner. And this is like, I'm not doing a liner, I'm just doing like a wing. I think it's so fun, like coming up with a vision and then making it come to life. Ooh, that's just like the coolest. For the final step for the eyes, I'm going to take the All That Cosmetics Glitter Fix Gel. And I'm going to take the chunky red glitters from this Recollections Chunky Glitter little jar I got from Michaels. And I'm going to take the red chunky glitters and just put it right on the outer corner. And you want to do small sections at a time, so that way it doesn't dry out for. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I use natural sunlight for my videos, and the sun never likes to cooperate, it seems. So every time I start recording again, the sun goes away. And then every time I stop recording, the sun comes back. Alright guys, I'm sorry, but I meant to record me putting on my lashes, but I used the Bombshell Cosmetica lashes in Buttercup. That's what this style is. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish my face makeup and I will be right back to show you guys the final look. Overall, with this palette, the blendability was really well. The colors are super pigmented. The yellow is a bit sheer. It's swatched very beautifully, but it's a bit sheer, and to me it seemed a bit powdery also when I was applying it on my eyelid, but I do see that it's very buildable and it's very blendable. To get this, when I was using it as my transition shade, I did have to go in with quite a few layers to get the color to really stand out. But I definitely do think it's workable, that one yellow shade. But with the other shades that I use, I also used Karma, which packed very beautifully on my eyelids, and it's so pigmented, like you guys can see. And the one thing that I did like about this shadow that I have trouble with other shadows with is that when I cut my crease with the concealer and then I go to pack shadows on top, the shadow seems to grab in other places more so than others, and so that causes the shadow to be darker in other places and lighter in others. But anyway, the shadow, I did not see that did that, so it came out really pretty. And so I already explained Flower. Vintage, I used right beneath Flower to blend between Flower and Cocoa, and that one was also a very pretty shade. It blended very nicely into Flower, and it also allowed Cocoa to blend very nicely into that, but I think that was more so Cocoa. Cocoa I found was very blendable, very creamy, very smooth, and super pigmented, and I really like that shade because as I said before, I find that when I go and reapply the deepest shade in my crease using this eyeshadow application that I used in this video, I find that the darkest shade, it doesn't really look as dark as it does on its own when you first apply it. So that's what I like about this shade, is that it really did, you can see how dark it is, how it looks on the eyes, how it can look in the pan. Like, I really enjoyed that. It transfers, like the pan side, basically what I'm trying to say is that the colors in the pan are pretty true to color from what the colors I used. The colors are very true to color. But I'm really excited to make more looks, and I am going to continue using this palette. Sorry guys, my camera's battery died, but what I was saying was, I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, the colors are very true to color, and I'm going to make more looks using this palette, and I'll post them on my Instagram so you guys can go check those out there. But if I do find any inconsistencies or anything different that I didn't include in this video, I will put it in the description below as an update. So yeah, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.